Hi, Capricorn rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast, and we are starting on the 16th of February until the 22nd of February. So the major activations are happening in your third house, the house of communication. We've got a couple of new cycles starting there. But of course, the biggest hit of the week is Saturn and Neptune conjunction and the eclipse, switching on your second and fourth house. Now, when it comes to Saturn and Neptune, I'm going to be making a separate video. This is going to be available for YouTube members. But the eclipse, I'm going to be preparing that for my members. So if you would like to be part of my membership, it is about $20, and you get 5 webinars each month, and you get 2 live sessions as well, where I break down the new moons and the full moons in depth for each rising sign, as well as the general forecast. But let's get going. Firstly, you have got the Mercury and Jupiter trine. It's triggering your third and seventh house. So this is a heart to heart type of conversation. Maybe it's a difficult conversation that you have to be having with a sibling, a neighbor, or even with a partner of yours. But it turns out to be good. It brings an element of a healing. Or you might be ready to write a letter or a post, for example, that becomes a little bit more sentimental, but it can be like it can bring a lot of reward. This could talk to you about collaboration opportunities as well. You might be signing up for a course, for example, with your partner, just to kind of deepen the intellectual connections, for example. Maybe you have got an idea to sell to a client, not necessarily through facts, but through kind of like a moving personal story as well. You can even run into a person while you are commuting and then just having this random chit chat with someone, but it gives you a certain type of a spiritual insight. We have got the triple conjunction happening in your third house as well, Pallas, Athene, Venus, and North Node. Venus is meeting up Pallas first, then the North Node, and then Pallas meets up North Node eventually. It's all happening within a couple of days. But imagine that you are ready to sit down to write a sales pitch, a proposal, for example. Maybe you will start noticing a gap in the local market, and you might be coming up with a idea to fill in that gap. So obviously, it is bringing you potentials of earning money as well. Or maybe you are having this very much of a healing conversation with a sibling, a neighbor. We share this valuable information with each other, and that could be changing the trajectory of that connection. You might be ready to learn a new skill, but this skill should be more creative, like photography, design, and maybe it's giving you that additional layer to your current work or to your portfolio, because Venus is the ruler of your 10th house, which represents career. Or imagine that you are planning out this little trip and then it becomes kind of fated. So you might be meeting with a future partner, with a future collaborator. Now, the partnership could be coming actually with that Venus and Jupiter trine, which is happening at the end of the week. But you can get a yes, for example, from a job interview. You can have this phone conversation that changes a partnership to a for the better. This could be about closing a deal, kind of like connecting with a client of yours on an emotional resonance. Or maybe a sibling of yours is offering you a resource or a hand to be finding a contractual agreement, to be finding a partner. So the sibling introduces you to someone. Or it's kind of like writing a love letter type of archetype. So I'm ready to talk about what's in my heart. I'm ready to express my feelings. I'm able to capture everything that I have ever wanted to say. And again, you can have this lucky encounter during a short trip as well. That might be leading to a very beautiful friendship or a certain type of a partnership. This is a very beautiful aspect. Venus exalted, Jupiter is exalted. Jupiter is the ruler of the Venus also. So this is really good. Now we've got the Sun and Uranus square happening this week also. Now this is not a simple Sun and Uranus square. This is an eclipse square Uranus. But like I said, I'm going to be preparing a separate video about that for my members. So I hope to see you there. But this is switching on your second and fifth house. So I can imagine that there is some unexpected financial behaviors happening, like spending on your child, on a hobby. Maybe you're going to have to be dipping a little bit more into your safety fund, your savings. Or maybe you realize that the old ways of making money is too boring and I want to upgrade something. I want to do something more exciting. Or you can be actually become lucky with this as well. You can stumble upon a high value item, maybe at a flea market and so forth, and then you are kind of like, happy about it. Or maybe imagine that if you've got a client who has been paying you in certain ways and then they are switching systems, and then it might be forcing you to get a little bit more tech savvy. Or you might decide that I want to spend more money on experiences, like I want to go to a concert, for example, and so forth, to boost your confidence, to boost your self-worth. Asteroid Urania enters your fourth house this week. And this is important because straight away it is making a conjunction to Saturn and Neptune, which I said I was going to be making a separate video about. But we want to talk about that Urania a little bit. It's about potentially investing into a smart home, something a little bit more high-tech security, for example, because I want to make my home more of a fortress. I want to make this sanctuary feel invincible. Or you discover a pattern in your family, something that explains exactly why you feel the way you do at home. Or you're kind of like building this temple, like for yourself, like a spiritual corner, a dedication, like a meditation room, something which follows the sacred geometry. I mean, I can even imagine that you might notice that the value of your property is a lot higher because it's on kind of like on a mathematical point, like uh, I don't know, maybe it's on a, there is underneath certain type of water and spring water and so forth, and obviously that pushes up the price. Or you might be ready to buy or sell a property based on your hunch. Um, However, Urania is a little bit more about data and research. But Neptune is there as well, so we are trusting our hunches also. Sun enters your third house this week, and of course, it's going to be spending there an entire month. The sun's job is to highlight something. So it's going to be highlighting the way we communicate, our relationship with siblings and neighbors. But this is spice is a little bit more poetic. So imagine that you are writing a message, giving a presentation. You are trying to connect with people on an emotional level, not just on a logical base. Or you can be having these casual chats with someone that could be leading to a certain spiritual insight, or even certain type of lucky encounters as well. Or maybe you are ready to study a language. However, the sun rules your eighth house. So this is about the realization around the fear of communication, the fear of comparison, the fear of making a choice, a financial choice, because the third house is so much to do with choices. And this is an invitation that I have to be listening to my gut feelings. The gut feelings are going to tell me what exactly I'm meant to be doing. Maybe you are kind of like sending a text message to someone that I'm just thinking of you, everything is all right with you, type of scenario. And maybe, you get the text message at the right time, at the right place. Or you are ready to go on a short trip. You're gonna take a drive to a nearby park or a fountain or these type of stuff, just to be able to clear your head, to reset your nervous system, to kind of be quiet with your own thoughts so that you can see something clearer. Now, Mercury is there too, and it's making a sextile to Juno in your first house. So the Mercury might be echoing some very similar topics, like the thinking, clearing the head, but also it's about signing a deal. This is about coming up with your own mission statements. This is about being recognized as a voice of authority in your local circle. This is about being able to well reason something. This is about posting a compassionate post. This is about committing to studying something, potentially a topic that you are passionate about or has got certain type of spiritual connotation to it. Or maybe this is about realizing who the loyal people are in my life. Or this is about you committing to help a sibling or a neighbor with something practical. Or you might be ready to buy a vehicle. You might be ready to sign an agreement. Something that might be providing you with a little bit more freedom. And last but not least, we've got Mars in your second house sextiling Ceres in your fourth house. Now, of course, that Mars is all about finances. So I want to build a financial fortress. You might be taking a bold step to protect your income, or you might be setting up a new saving account. You might be a saving account to be able to purchase a property, for example. You might want to buy something, a high quality item for your home, just to increase the value of that over time. Or you might be ready to kind of use your own two hands to build something for your home because you want to be saving the money. Or you are ready to say no to someone, to a family members of yours, because you want to be protecting your time, your efforts. You might be actually getting some financial help from a parent of yours, because Mars is the ruler of parents. So it's a bit of a funding to be able to improve your comfort, for example, your safety. Yes. So you can see that this week, most of these aspects are quite nice, right? So the only challenging aspect really is the Sun and Uranus square. But for me, this week for you is about a bit of a dedication, a bit of an ancestral clearance. Mars is also, if you think of it, Mars is the ruler of your 11th house. So even you can ask favor from your friends, for example, if you want to get something done around your home environment. This could really indicate that you are improving relationships this week with others, with all that trine that is happening to Jupiter, or you are giving guidance to others, or you are receiving guidance from these people as well. I think this week you need to be focusing on just connecting as much as you can with like-minded people who can give you emotional support. But remember, this is about good karma. This is about mutual respect, as well as you scratch my back and I'm going to be scratching yours as well. If you are single, go on a date. You can actually work on your own physical beauty, how you present yourself, what I'm going to be telling people on a date, because you have got great chances to attract someone beautiful into your life. So good luck, Capricorn, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.